So Chris, a 2-0 loss here to Walton Hersham. Obviously a strong side, but maybe not our best performance of the season. What are your thoughts?
No, I think that's absolutely right. It was one of those games where we weren't anywhere near our best in large parts of the game, especially in the first half. We knew that Walton Hersham were going to try and play out from the back and be as confident and brave on the ball as they were. And in that first half, we weren't fully committed to our defensive shape and reacting to triggers to try and get pressure on the ball. And too many times in that first half, they cut through us and caused us problems. And they're going in at half time 1-0 down. Kind of felt a little bit fortunate to be in that position. They were very good, and we weren't anywhere near our best. And that was the most disappointing thing, was that we weren't anywhere near our best, and we weren't fully committed. We didn't have as much energy in our out of possession game, and we were really slow with the ball, and we made life quite easy for our opponents. And like I said, going in at half time 1-0 down, felt a little bit fortunate. Second half, we came out with a little bit more energy, a little bit more belief, a bit more desire, and we were a bit more committed to our tactical plan, really, and it showed. And it's really disappointing to give away a goal in the way that we did to go 2-0 down. And that goal, we don't concede that goal. We just clear the ball when it's on to be cleared, or we set back to the goalkeeper rather than trying to force through areas where the opposition are right on us. I think that we're right in the game right to the end, and on a different day we'd probably be able to turn it around, but it was just one of those where things just didn't quite click for long enough periods. So yeah, an all-round disappointing performance.
I have to say, I think we were denied maybe a couple of penalty chances there, maybe two in quick succession. Obviously a foul on the box and a handball. Obviously, thoughts on the refereeing?
Yeah, I've learned a lot. I've learned a lot this year. Being in and around these levels, I honestly feel as though this level of football isn't respected enough. I feel as though this level of football is just disregarded. But what I've seen this year is that there's some very good teams in this league. There's some very good football being played in this league. There's some very good players in this league. But unfortunately, for one reason or another, there isn't enough being done to ensure that the officiating is being supported in order to get more of the big decisions correct than not. Even the simple things of having communications between the three officials involved, I think it would make a huge difference. Today one of our players gets elbowed in the face, and the linesman by me sees it, confirms it with me. However, there's no communication with the referee. The referee doesn't give a free kick or anything, and there's just a huge amount of inconsistency with decisions. And I understand their job's difficult. I really do, and it's not the reason that we lost the game today. However, it's really frustrating to see so many disappointing key moments in the game that are just either missed, chosen to be ignored, or just treated differently because of who the offence is against. And like I said, that isn't the reason we've lost the game today. Hats off to Walton Hersham. They're where they are in the league because they're a good side. They're well organised. They play some good football, and they were better than us today. They deserve to win, and I genuinely wish them all the very best in the playoffs. But he's a top coach, and he's got a well organised team, and I wish them all the very best going into the playoffs. In terms of every manager that I speak to along the way, it feels as though this level of football isn't respected enough to ensure that things are being done in the right way to ensure that the games are being officiated properly, because there's some really key decisions. And you look at the incident in the first half, the referee even admits that it's handball, and if he had been two or 3 yards further back, he would have given a penalty. And things like that is just to hear that and have those conversations with referees at half time at the end of the game is disappointing. A key moment in the game just before half time, potentially going 1-1 and things are slightly different, but it's disappointing.
On to a slight positive, I thought Alex Rutter had a good performance there, made some really crucial saves. How important has he been coming in, and obviously going to be for next season potentially? Yeah, again, he shows that he's a very good goalkeeper. He's absolutely top drawer, and we're delighted that we've got him with us now and into next season. And it goes to show the importance of having somebody in between the sticks behind the back four that gives confidence to the whole team. When we get things wrong and we give opportunities away to the opposition, we're not thinking, it's a goal. We're thinking that Ruts can bail us out, and he's made some cracking saves and some big moments for us, not just today but in previous games. And we're excited about him being with us into next season as we try and improve and build on what we've done so far. And
Yeah, I think that today there was 3 or 4 lads that played particularly well, that really committed to the game today. But it just goes to show that we can't afford to just have 4 or 5 players performing to the very best level in order to get results. We have to be 9, 10, 11 players, kind of making sure that they're fully invested in the plan and giving everything they've got. And that was the main reason that we come unstuck today. We didn't create enough. We didn't defend properly. We didn't execute our plan in or out of possession, and ultimately we were punished for that. And that comes down to just making sure that now that we're safe, we don't just put toes up. It's not just a case of going into, we're on our holidays already. We want to make sure that we're performing to our maximum for the club, for the badge, finishing as high as we possibly can in this league. And it's about character for the group, and they need to show what their character's all about, so we know that we've got the right squad going into next season. Finish the next 2 games in the right manner, and ensure that we're building and heading in the right direction.
Obviously, through town on Monday, they're battling relegation, fighting for their lives. I mean, it could be a tough game. How are we going to make sure that we get that quick turnaround? Obviously, it's not going to be an easy opposition because they're fighting for their lives.
Well, I think I've just been informed by the staff. I think they've been confirmed as relegated as of today. Some of the fixtures and the results that have happened today and yesterday have left them just already being relegated today. So they're going to rock up on Monday with a bit of a point to prove, and they may well have players that are fighting for contracts and their futures. So not dead rubber by any stretch of the imagination. On Monday we're expecting a full-blooded fixture, and like I've said in previous interviews and articles, we need to go into that game with the right mindset. We got beat 5-0 up there on Boxing Day, and that really hurt in the way that it happened and the way that we gave them goals. So we need a reaction from today, and we need to ensure that we go into that game putting with a score to settle, and trying to make sure that we finish our season at home in front of our fans that have supported us all season through the good times and bad, and we reward them with a full-blooded performance and some good football.